Can you dig it, yo?
What's going on, everyone?
Let's talk about some digits, Carl.
It's Tuesday night. We're back live again since everyone requested we come back live tonight. So thanks everyone for tuning in tonight.
It's like I got a glow stick.
It's like a light show.
It's like we're at a rave party, guys. Chicago
Stokes, what's going on, brother?
Chicago sports rave, man.
So thanks everyone for tuning in tonight on Tuesday nights live stream. We do appreciate this watching us on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Seems to be quite a bit to talk tonight. I know we kind of featured some of the Bear stuff.
Well, first of all, this episode is brought to you by Gatorade.
Oh, here we go.
It quenches your thirst. Makes you less thirsty. All right, go ahead. Proceed with the rest of the show, Mr. Shiny.
I'm glad you can let me go ahead and start with the show. So, look, we'll get to the Bear stuff in a minute, but some news out of Sox camp today. Tim Anderson's going to be sidelined for 6 weeks.
Oh, why?
Apparently a torn ligament in his hand. He's going under the knife, going to have some surgery.
All right, so did Timmy hurt it swinging?
That's what the video shows. Looks like he hurt it swinging in, I think it was Sunday's game.
Hey,
in the ninth inning.
Would you like to see it?
You want to show it to us?
I do want to show you the video of Tim Anderson hurting his little pinky finger. Well, I mean, I just asked you for it, so here we go. MLB.com. Here's I'm assuming this is what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
Against the Rangers. All right, let me pop that puppy up a little bit.
And you see after he swings, he looks at his hand.
And he goes, dang, I should have worn a different batting gloves.
Right.
These are not the batting gloves V-Dub sent me.
Now, look, prior to that, he was already not doing well. I think he was like 0 for the series already. He went 0 for 6. Or like, I don't think he got a hit in the entire time he was in Texas. So
he's like, dang, I put the batting gloves on that Shanger sent me.
Right. But
wrong.
Our buddy, Cole, your friend and mine, and I hope he's watching.
Who's Cole?
My buddy Cole, and I hope he's watching because I'm calling him out. He seems to think he's one of these conspiracy theorists thinking that he's not really hurt, that he thinks that there's actually something else.
So was he acting?
Just giving him time off.
And so he was acting in that at bat.
That's according to our friend Cole, which I don't necessarily agree with. He's hurt. He's going under the knife, right? Deflecting whatever the case is. The guy's hurt. So he's going to be out for 6 weeks, and the Sox are going to be in trouble because if Leori Garcia has to play every single day, we might as well just send 8 guys up to the plate. Might as well just give him an automatic out every single time Leori comes up to bat.
There's got to be somebody in the minor league system.
I'm sure there probably is, but it's a matter of even if you bring up
somebody, man. So
look,
what?
It'll help you defensively, but it's not going to help you offensively. That's a big bat you're taking out of the lineup. So, anyway.
what are his stats right now?
He's hitting like 307. He's above 300. It's like 307 or 309.
I'm looking.
But he's definitely above 300.
Leori Garcia?
No, not Leori Garcia.
That's what I'm asking, man.
Garcia's hitting 211.
That's what I was asking. Like, so, like, what's the? Yeah, I see 216, but it must be updated. But hey, so you get somebody from the minor league system. I mean, just to try something. I mean, the team is stuck.
Well, again, look, they just announced it today. They were expecting Anderson to play in the second game of the doubleheader today. So they just announced it. Maybe they'll call someone up tomorrow. Who knows? But as of today, Leori Garcia had to play shortstop both games today, and that totally hurt us.
Today is the greatest.
So anyway, just want to start with that. We'll move on from that. We'll move on from the Sox stuff because they're still playing the second game right now.
Tomorrow's much.
Every time you start singing, we lose viewers. So
we went from 4 to 5. People heard the octave in my voice.
Whatever the case is. So. All right, so
All right. So, hey, Sox they're just not good enough.
I disagree. They just can't stay
No,
healthy.
yeah, they're not good enough.
They can't stay healthy.
All right. So, championship teams, they always have a man that steps up. Wouldn't you say that? They, I don't know about all of them, but there's quite a few of them that have more guys that can step up than the Sox do. The Sox
Well,
really need.
I basically every guy that's in this lineup has been hurt and has missed extended time. Almost every guy in the lineup.
Yeah, what is wrong with Chicago teams, man? We keep on saying this. We said it for the Bears, right? Maybe
Right.
not as bad, but yeah, the Bears were pretty. They had a lot of the Bulls, the Sox. I mean, it's just kind of rampant in Chicago sports right now.
Especially with the Sox and the Bulls.
Yeah, it's ugly. Well, no, the Cubs. The Cubs were riddled with it in the beginning of the year too. I mean, they had a ton of people out.
Katie
It's
making an
my
early appearance tonight. Thanks, Katie.
sounds like them Bulls.
Thanks for making the early appearance tonight, Katie. All right, so let's move on from the Sox. Let's talk about the Bears. So,
That was fast.
what do you think about? Well, why did you bring up what we were talking about offline about with Roquan? Why don't you bring that up on the screen?
Are we talking about his initial Instagram that
Yeah,
he's
let's talk
got?
about that.
Everybody's just um, they can't get enough of it today. Honestly, I don't. I mean, I was upset this morning. Okay, so this is from ESPN.com, and this is just part of what he said. He talked about that the new front office regime doesn't value him. They have refused to negotiate in good faith. And every step of this journey has been take it or leave it. And he's basically saying that if he took this offer, he would be doing a disservice for the entire linebacker market if he signed it. So, all right. So, basically, requesting a trade out of Chicago.
Somewhat.
Yeah, that's what everybody was reporting though today.
Yeah, but if you saw the actual Instagram note,
It didn't state that, right?
but the Instagram notes that he asked for a trade. But he also says in the Instagram post that he hasn't talked directly to the McCaskies, and they're the only ones that could save this situation.
Yeah. So I tweeted, "Salvage it, Bears."
So Skulks brings up a good thing here, right?
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Roquan does not have an agent throughout this negotiation. He decided to represent himself during these negotiations, right?
Yep.
So like if anyone remembers when he was a rookie holdout. He literally didn't sign until almost the first game.
He had a bad year too with depression.
Yeah, because he started late, like he was trying to adjust, whatever the case was, he signed late, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree a little bit with Skulks on this. Like, I think part of this is, he made mention that Muhammad, who they brought over from Indianapolis, that they're not offering him as much money as they paid Muhammad to come over. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know because obviously the Bears aren't going to negotiate out in the public, whatever the case is. You don't know necessarily the terms of the deal. So, for example, like maybe it's less money up front. Maybe it's more backloaded. Who knows, right? Whatever the deal is, right? But you kind of see a little bit of his inexperience because he's trying to negotiate this contract through the press. And then by putting it out there on Instagram that he's demanding a trade, he's trying to get the fans' sympathy on his side to put pressure on the Bears to get this done. Look, you even retweeted on our page today, like, you got to salvage this, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
again, I'm going to stick to my guns on this. I think he's going to eventually sign toward the end. He's gonna stay a Bear, right? But I think that this is really more of a negotiating ploy more than anything else.
Yeah, but this was really disappointing. I mean, we just showed 2 nights ago Tevin Jenkins looking completely dejected, right?
Mhm.
You had God, I'm having a hard time with names again, man. Our 18 sack dude. Jesus Christ.
Robert Quinn.
Quinn, who didn't start off to in some of the training camps, or was it OTAs?
In the OTAs. He missed the OTAs.
Yeah, he missed the OTAs.
But you hear he's singing a different tune now.
Yeah, I mean, immediately when he came in, he was speaking a different tune.
Yeah.
And then you got one of our most prized players on our team, besides Justin Fields and Mooney, maybe, and he seems disappointed. So
Who
I
seems
do
disappointed?
Roquan.
Well,
I
look,
mean, obviously, he seems disappointed. So, like, I worry about the psyche of this team. But yes, I do think I do agree with you after being able to weather the emotion of the morning reports and hearing the reporters go through it myself. I do agree with you. It's some kind of negotiating tactic, which I don't think is that smooth.
no, look, well, look, I'm going to respectfully disagree with you on this, right?
Shocker.
I think
So shocked.
the overall attitude and morale of the team, I think, is good. You've got a couple of guys, a handful of guys that are not buying into the program, and they're trying, and those are the guys that are chirping. And Tevin Jenkins doesn't have any right to chirp at this point. He's a second-year player that's only played 6 games in the league, and hopefully someone straighten him out because he seems a little immature to me. And he's just got to play to the contract. You have a great year this year, fine. You know what? Next year, go ahead and say whatever you got to say. But you've only played 6 games so far. You're not even guaranteed a starting spot at this point.
Okay, so you're I mean, you're guessing that really is the problem, right? I mean, that's what we've been guessing all along, based on
I'm
what
guessing
report,
what problem.
based on what reporters said about Tevin Jenkins.
I think Tevin Jenkins is I'm going to go along with some of these
Do you
reports.
think it really is the attitude?
Yeah, I think it's
Do you
an
think
attitude.
so? Yeah.
I think it's more immaturity that contributes to the attitude.
Okay, so
the
the reporters reported that out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and just as well, a lot of the reporters this morning were talking about Roquan and worrying about Poles already losing this team and the confidence from losing a possible guy that's more of a veteran and a leader on the team. So why do you dismiss that? But the Tevin Jenkins one, you're like, I'm sold. This guy's a flake.
They're two different situations.
Of course they are. I mean, they're two different people.
You can't compare the two.
I just did.
Yeah,
So
but
I
you
could.
can't.
So
It's
I can.
apples.
No, I
it's
did.
apples and oranges.
Why is that? I'm relating it to the media reporting this out, and you're agreeing with one thing the media said when you really don't know. Neither do we. But you're not agreeing with the other.
Did you see this? Did you see the same Tevin Jenkins press conference that I saw?
I played it for you, schmo.
Okay, so did you see a guy up there that seemed to handle himself maturely up there?
He actually looked like he was a dejected guy just giving out answers because he just looked dejected, man.
He looked like a little kid that didn't get what he wanted.
We don't know that. You don't know his personality. You could go up there and you could sound like really arrogant, and I would be able to tell you, no, Carl's not arrogant.
Look, my point with
a happy guy.
Look, my point with Tevin Jenkins is the fact that he is a second-year player who has barely played, okay, in the league. And he's not even guaranteed a starting spot at this point. For him to think that he can come in as a guy that's played 6 games in the league.
Again.
Did you, again, maybe you're right. I don't know all of the details. But when you saw that press conference and you saw the way he handled himself.
I don't know how sometimes you could be so confident on something. I'm not confident that it's all him.
Do you see
Because
anyone else? Do you see anyone else on that offensive line complaining?
no, not yet. But you
Right.
got someone on the defensive line
But you
now
see, but you see,
complaining.
you see some of these guys on the offensive line talking about Braxton Jones, how talented he is.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Skokes, I don't know if he showed a video on it, but he is quick. He's got quick feet, man. He looks
Okay,
good.
so you have veterans there like Riley Rife, right, and Patrick, who are saying, "Look, we got some really good, talented guys here,"
Yeah,
right?
I
And
hear you.
you don't. Do you think that those guys would have come here and signed here as free agents, especially Patrick, if
Uh-huh.
they didn't think or they didn't believe that they believe what they were sold, right? Like this is like they bought into what the coaches were selling.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay, I think part of
I don't
what's
know.
going on. I
I'm
think
gonna
part of
enjoy
what's
my
going on.
Twinkie while I listen to your tripe.
I think part of what's going on with Tevin Jenkins is kind of a little bit left over from the last regime, and then going into this year, because everyone's talking about how it's different from last year to this year, and how hard Eberflus is working these guys. But
Yep.
you don't hear people complain. They're saying actually this is a good thing. So how, like, if you've got other players that are agreeing with the program that Eberflus is bringing in,
Mm-hmm.
and Alvin, what is it? Alvin Johnson, the defensive coordinator, right? And Getsy, what he's bringing
Mm-hmm.
on the offensive side. If you've got a majority of the players buying into the program and saying positive things, but you've only got 2, 3, 4 people, maybe 2 at this point,
Uh-huh.
basically just Roquan and Tevin Jenkins.
Roquan's a big guy, man. I don't know. Yeah,
Again,
Alan Williams. Alan Williams.
but again, and I'm going to agree with Skokes on this, right?
Yeah.
He's he's negotiating his own. He's not experienced at this. You have to agree with that.
Of course. Yeah. Why?
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know why guys want to represent themselves.
So for him to come out and say that him signing this deal would be bad for all linebackers in the league, he's not qualified to make that statement.
Okay, so the Bears actually, what I think he wants a contract.
Thanks, Skokes, by the way, for correcting me.
He wants one of the highest paid contracts out of linebackers for an inside linebacker.
Okay.
And on the score, they were talking about. Tom Waddle was saying, "There's no way do I give him an outside linebacker kind of money." He goes, maybe 16 million, I'll do it, but I'm not giving him any more than that $20 million a year for an inside linebacker position.
Mm-hmm.
So Tom Waddle would agree to get rid of him if he's not. If he basically said, get rid of him if it's gonna if he's not gonna play for $20 million less than that, forget it. It's not worth it.
Okay.
But he did say that they should be putting a target to try and sign some of these guys. They've got to start spending money, and they've got to start somewhere.
Okay, so here's the question I'm going to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If Tom Waddle, who I would say is a qualified NFL expert, right?
Yeah, me too. That's why I brought him up.
Is saying that he's not worth 20 million. Okay. He's worth more like 16, 17, right?
Yeah, but it sounds like they're only offering him 13 million. That's what I thought I heard.
Okay. Regardless if it's 13, if Roquan's asking for 20 million a year, right? And he gets traded to another team, who is going to sign him? Who's going to take the trade and pay him 20 million if the basic general consensus, he's not getting outside linebacker money. So this is where his inexperience comes in.
I'm guessing somebody will.
This is where an agent would make a huge difference, because an agent can talk to him and
absolutely
say, like, look, you're only worth this amount of money because this is your position.
I agree with Storm on this too.
Right?
You can't give him the amount of money he's asking for, but there's got to be some kind of middle ground between the two, and that's where I think you think they're going to end up signing him, sort of maybe in between number, right?
Look, here's the other problem is that he's representing
Are you
himself,
answering
right?
my freaking question, dude, or
Say that
not?
again. Say the question again.
Do you think they're going to meet in the middle? That's basically what I asked.
I think if, I don't know if it's in the middle, but I think they're going to agree to a number. They're going to sign him.
How would you feel if Roquan sat out a year? What would you think about that? I mean, it would be idiotic, but
I think he's only hurting himself.
yeah, absolutely.
You know,
The Bears have. I mean, the Bears have the upper hand.
um,
What? Yeah, Storm's right. Well short of it.
because they're probably well short of it, Storm, because he's not worth 20 million. If
No,
he's
he
asking
wants
for,
more. Yeah, he wants more money than who's the other linebacker? I think. Oh God, he compared himself to a linebacker. I'm gonna look it up.
to Muhammad, who the
No, no,
Bears signed.
no. It wasn't him. It was a different linebacker.
So
I want to say Raiders.
I don't know who that is.
Was not the Raiders. I heard it this morning. All right. Well, he. They also brought up on the score this morning that he was rated Roquan Smith out of I want to say 82 inside linebackers. He was rated maybe 62 in rushing defense
Hmm.
and um, somewhere around the same in terms of getting to the quarterback. And I guess Mike North, we know Mike North, right?
Yeah,
All
I
right, so
do.
Mike North posted that those specific numbers, but said you can't use that. That he's a solid inside linebacker. The Bears would miss him in the passing game more than anything. Um, but because they had Khalil Mack and Quinn and had a different type of defense, that you can't look into some of those numbers. And some of the guys on the radio were disagreeing completely with Mike North, saying, "Yes, 62 out of 82. Don't you think the Bears are looking at that, Mike?"
Look, they're switching defenses this year from a 3-4 to a 4-3, right? So it's a little bit different scheme. It's a little bit different lineup, little bit different responsibility. Do I think Roquan is an impact player on defense? Yes, he's an impact player. Is he like a game changing linebacker like Khalil Mack was? I don't know. I don't know if he's to that point yet. Um, where you had to game plan around Khalil Mack, right?
Yeah,
Um, I don't know if Roquan is that. But is he a solid player? Yes, absolutely. He's definitely a good player. He's a solid player. He's going to contribute. He's a guy
amen.
you can count on, right? But
Yep,
I don't
I
think
agree.
he's one. I don't think he's one of these top tier linebackers that he thinks he is. And now that I think about it, I think that the longer that this goes on,
It was
and the
Leonard, by the
more,
way. That's why I posted what Skoke said. It was Leonard.
yeah,
He was comparing himself. He wants to make more than Leonard.
yeah. So I think the longer that this goes on, and the more Roquan tries to negotiate this in the press, I think it's going
Hmm.
to back. I think it's going to backfire on him.
So, did you see what Poll said about this?
Yeah. Do you want to play that?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I think I've got it on the Twitter. Okay, need the volume on, baby.
Like,
Hold on.
I'll double down on what I said before.
Sorry, guys.
Wanted to come in here and, let everyone know, obviously, we're aware of everything that's popped up with Roquan on Twitter. So I thought it would be best to address it straightforward. Um, like, I'll double down on what I've said before. My feelings for Roquan haven't changed at all. I think he's a very good football player. I love the kid, love what he's done on the field, which makes me really disappointed where we're at. right now. I thought we'd be in a better situation to be completely honest with you.
So what do you?
Oh,
What'd you feel about that?
I thought it was a very refreshing change from Bears management.
Amen, buddy. I agree.
Holy crap, we agree on something.
I know, isn't it amazing?
I look. I think if
I
that was, I think
1000% agree.
if that was Ryan Pace, he's giving you like standard talk.
He's not talking, man. He might have talked once or twice in a season sometimes.
Yeah, look, I'm
Yeah.
glad. I'm glad he came out and said what he said. Um,
Cheers.
I think it was more, honestly, more disappointment that Roquan decided to make this public more than anything else.
Yeah, it took me
And
by surprise.
so I thought, say what you want about, like you were commenting before, like maybe people commenting about the new regime and polls and how he's handling himself. I
Yep.
thought that was awesome.
I did too. I think it was fantastic. It's actually refreshing to see people in upper management in sports organizations like speak the truth, and do so in a casual manner. It was very calm, cool, and collect. I like how Billy Donovan talks to the press. I like how AK and Eversley talk. Um, but then not Han. I don't like Han. Do you like Han?
Um, I think he's a good general manager. I just think that his hands are tied with the owner.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder what sports fans think of overall. If you go through all the ownerships in or GMs in our Chicago sports teams, who would rate the highest right now? Who would you trust the most right now? It's a great question.
That's a great question. Put that up on a poll
I'll do that.
on Twitter. Let's see what people come back, and we'll talk about it the next video. Let's see
Okay.
what people come up with. But I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant by polls to come out there, and you could tell when he got up there to speak, like he was genuinely disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it was good.
You know, I don't know what you guys think out there, but I thought that was awesome. So, like Skoke said, he's had quite a few interviews already out there.
Yeah. All right. So let's spin this a little bit towards the Bulls, unless are we?
Can you say it again?
Alexa wants to speak on the podcast, guys.
We might get copyrighted for that if Alexa makes an appearance.
It literally just. All right. So the Bulls. You brought it to me. I did not even realize that ESPN had gone out and made a prediction already. So I'm going to share that next for everybody. What do you guys think the Bulls were projected to place in the Eastern Conference? Put your guesses out. Let's see who can get it right on for ESPN. Skokes, what do you think, man?
Storm, you're probably there too. So whoever else is there, let us know what you think about where the ESPN think they placed us.
All right. I'm giving you 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Earth below us. Storm. My opinion, 6. All right, here we go. Do I need to blow this up?
Yes. They predicted we finished 8th.
Guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Storm and Skokes are agreeing on 6. Katie said 7. I'll flash those up on the screen real quick. So Storm thinks 6, right?
So
Katie went with 7. And
apparently, they're thinking
Skokes
Atlanta. They think Atlanta is going to do a little bit better than last year. Toronto, I think they were around that amount of wins.
Both teams improved themselves though.
Yeah.
I think Atlanta actually should be higher. Yeah, Atlanta should be higher. Atlanta's I think Atlanta's a top 4.
I thought that last year, honestly. I thought they were going to be top 4. They really were disappointment, man.
You really need to pay attention to the offseason.
What are you talking about?
Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, and John Collins on the same team.
What about it? I'm talking.
That's the reason why they were top 4.
I said last year. I said last year they were a disappointment, and then you're telling me I should pay attention to the offseason.
Because you're saying
But
that they
for
should be about
Atlanta.
this. You should be about the same.
What, Atlanta?
Yeah.
I didn't say that at all, man. I was just reading the screen here. They got 46 wins.
I definitely think they're higher. That's what they're projecting. They're projecting they have 46 wins. That's not what last year was. That's what they're projecting.
I
for this
know
year.
that, dude. I know it's a freaking projection. I was just reading the numbers on the screen.
All right.
Oh my God, you've got a superiority
attention.
complex, dude.
Atlanta still has
Limited
very.
perimeter shooting. I don't know about that.
I could see that.
I have to look up their roster again, man. Pay attention to the offseason a little bit better here.
Toronto more had injuries than the Bulls. Yeah.
Toronto did have more injuries than the Bulls, but
yeah. Look, what did they predict us last year? They predict us to be a play-in team last year, right? They didn't even think we were going to make the top 8 last year.
They did, number 9. I honestly still think the Bulls could be in one of those top 3 through 6, anywhere through 3 through 6. But they've got to be healthy. If they're not healthy, then I seriously think they'll be 7 or 8.
Or a top 6 team is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, they're not 1 or 2. They're gonna, if they're healthy, 3 through 6, one of those spots.
Okay.
That's my early prediction, unless we see Lonzo Ball not playing. Because Carl's worried about Lonzo Ball not playing.
I'm not worried at all.
He's not worried about Roquan Smith either.
No, I'm not.
Isn't it funny? You weren't worried about him, and then this blew up. But I still think you're right. I think they'll sign.
I'm sorry. Did you say that? Can you say that again?
I say that once in a while. You just don't say it as often, because you can't.
Because I have a superiority complex as
pretty much.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, man. Yeah.
Katie help me out here.
She's not going to help you out, buddy.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. But you know what? I think that's very similar to last year. The Bulls, I feel like they got a little bit better, but the rest of the teams in the Eastern Conference got better. So I could see why they put them at 8.
Yeah.
And they're probably just as concerned about injuries as we are, or as I am, not you.
No, I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. We're good.
All right. So, hey, before we go, I want to do. We're gonna share because you're gonna do your food thing in a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Carl loves food. If everybody knows that, Carl likes to go out with his buddy Jay. They hit all these shops, and the only reason Carl works out is because he needs to eat.
Carly, don't ever apologize. Thanks for joining in.
Yo, Matthew.
Don't ever apologize. Thanks for being
probably
here.
actually doing like work stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So here, before you do your food thing, and maybe Matthew wants to talk about something too. That would be cool to see. All right, here. I want to show everybody our YouTube page. We have a host of videos, recorded videos, live videos. I would urge you to go look at some of the things we posted about Soldier Field and Arlington Heights. We've got really good information on there about what they're looking for. And then we have a host of Chicago City, Windy City comebacks. And today's is number 45. And I so didn't want to put Jordan in here because who really wants to think of Jordan being 45?
Ed Neely.
You want Ed Neely?
You
want Ed
instead
Neely
of
back?
Jordan. Instead of 45, you got to go with Ed Neely.
All right,
Come
so
on,
these
man.
are the top 45s in Chicago, the sports that we talk about. So we got Gary Fensick, you got big old Bobby Jenks, you got Sean Marshall, and you've got MJ.
I can't believe you know Jordan.
His comeback.
Since Ed
So
Neely's not
who
on
do
here,
you
I'm gonna go with
pick?
Bobby Jenks. I'm going with Bobby Jenks.
You're going Bobby Jenks.
Not as a closer, but as a setup guy.
Hey, yo, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, don't ever apologize. Thanks for showing up, man. We do appreciate everyone that's
Yeah,
tuning
maybe
in
we'll
tonight.
go a little longer since we got some more people here. But you're going Bobby Jenks. They got
I'm going
Liam
Bobby
Hendricks.
Jenks.
They got Liam Hendricks.
As
But,
a setup guy. I just said as a setup guy.
all right, they do need setup men. How's Joe Kelly doing on the Sox right
He's
now?
doing better. He's doing much better these days. Thanks for asking.
He got his control back, right?
Yeah, his ERA is slowly going down.
And he never did really hurt his arm. That one
I
day.
think it was like he probably thought he hurt it, but I think he gave him a couple of days off and he was good to go.
So Gary Fensick, were you a fan of Gary Fensick when he was playing with the Bears in '85?
Him and Doug Plank.
Doug Plank.
Him and
The
Doug
good
Plank,
old QB.
45 and 46 as safety and free safety.
I'm thinking of who is the quarterback for the Bears? Was it Douglas?
Yeah. So like the other
Yeah.
thing the other thing I'll say is that when I used to collect the Topps football cards, I got Gary Fensick all the time. I don't know why that was, but I must have had like 8 Gary Fensick cards.
I never collected football cards ever. It was always baseball. Always baseball.
I did the football, the baseball. I did hockey for a little while, but I did mostly the baseball and the football.
What did the listeners collect? What was your go-to collection growing up? Baseball was mine, and unfortunately, like for us, Carl and I, the age for baseball, we probably were collecting those junk cards of 1987, Donruss, Topps, Flair, they overproduced them, man. I've got so many Barry Bond 1987 cards, Donruss, and I don't even know what they're worth.
Okay, so did you ever eat the stick of bubble gum that came with the cards?
Yeah, early on, yes, I did. Like probably 83, 84 when I used to buy packs.
Okay.
Yeah, the junk's wet.
That
just disappoints me.
Did you buy the single pack?
Wait,
or did you go buy
I gotta ask. Wait, the Barry Bonds 87 Donruss is 30 cents? Or are you joking? You're serious? Because the last time I checked Beckett's, it was at least in like $10 or more. Go ahead, Carl. Sorry.
Probably because of the steroid thing. So when you bought the cards, did you just buy the single packs or did you buy like the whole box?
I used to do both because I used to go to card shows. And then Wrigley Field had that awesome pit like area that was just fenced around where the players pull up right across from the firehouse. They literally just had a fence in, a guard would open the gate, the guys would go in, and you could lean right over the fence and just beg for autographs.
Yes.
That was so much fun. And then some people would go to the hotels. You would find out what hotels the players were staying at, and you would go to the hotel and wait for them to come off the bus or from lunch or dinner. That was kind of crazy. It's a little creepy.
I was all about the quarter packs for the baseball. You know, remember, like you could get them I could get 4 packs for like $1. I think the drugstore I went to buy the cards, I think I got 5 packs for $1, I think. But that was way back in the day.
They're really expensive. Just working at a school, I bought some baseball cards from a colleague of mine, and those packs are ridiculous. I think he was saying like they're like $6 for a pack for some of those packs, and they only come with, I don't know, our packs would come with maybe 20 cards in a pack. These come with like 5.
But you would get the same card over and over again, like Kurt Bavacqua. And
I used to get Bert Blyleven a lot.
And like Kurt Manwaring would be the same cards you got over and over and over again.
Well, what's your favorite card you ever had? Do you remember? Any of you? Basketball, baseball, whatever it is.
I think the best card I ever had was a Magic Johnson card.
All right, like early on.
Yeah, this was like this was like in the heyday of the Lakers. Like Showtime was like at its peak. Like I remember I was trying to collect the whole Laker team, and I think I got Kareem, Magic, I got Byron Scott. I think the one that always eluded me was James Worthy. Could never ever find that card.
James Worthy was so smooth. I enjoyed the 75 tops set.
That's a good card, Jeffrey.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor would be good.
Especially the rookie card.
I had a Tony Gwynn rookie, or I do have a Tony Gwynn rookie, 83. Not that great. I had a Dale Murphy rookie card at one point. Not sure if I have it still. Dale Murphy was all awesome for a while, and then the guy just totally lost it.
Dale Murphy is another one I got often. Like I got that card, especially when Atlanta was wearing those baby blue uniforms.
Yeah,
right. Like the blue on blue, and they were playing on AstroTurf back in the day, in Atlanta, Fulton County Stadium, I think it was. So, that was a good conversation about collecting cards. So yeah, if you get a chance, check out the YouTube channel and talking about that and following on that. So before we end tonight, two things I want to bring up. Vic shared with me something earlier, so I'm going to bring this up. So the usual groups here right now: Jeffrey, Storm, Matt, Skokes. You guys are here with us most every night, and we do appreciate you guys and hanging out with us. Katie, you too. Got to give you a shout out to Katie too.
I love you, man.
So Vic shared with me earlier tonight, there's one viewer that watches us that has his own channel, and he was telling us that he's kind of home ridden and does a lot of this sports stuff for entertainment, and he seems to do pretty well on YouTube. And what I wanted to bring up was that, look, we do this. No, we're not any experts, we're not anything like that. We do this more for fun, and we started doing more of the live stuff because we really enjoy the interaction that we have with you guys. And especially for some of you guys, especially I didn't know this person was watching us even that's home ridden, and I'm glad that we're able to provide some entertainment for that guy. And he kind of finds this informative. We had another guy point us out on Twitter about, what was the discussion he pointed out, Vic, about one of the conversations.
It was extension on Vooch.
Yeah, and he thought our thoughts on Vooch was, I guess, pretty good because he has encouraged people to come watch us.
Between us and our panel here, it's the panel.
Correct.
It's our peeps, man. They give us some good information. It's good back and forth. It's fun.
Everyone interviewing on that. So we do appreciate everyone that's coming in and watching us on a nightly basis. We appreciate you coming in and liking the comments. Again, we do this for fun and we enjoy interacting with you guys.
Enough of the smooching.
We're doing good. Food.
So we are going to be.
That.
So tomorrow night we aren't doing a show. Thursday night we are going to be doing a show with a Detroit Lion podcast, and we're going to talk about Detroit Lions. We're going to talk about Chicago Bears on their podcast, and then we're setting up another podcast with to talk about Chicago Bears. So once we find that, we're going to send it out to you guys.
Yeah, we'll put it on YouTube, on our Facebook, and also on Twitter. We'll put the link out for that, right? You'll get us the link, and we'll put that out, right?
I will, but I won't be sending it out to Matt Crowley.
Matt's totally invited. All right.
Yeah.
So, food question for tonight. Since we like to talk about food, right? So, everyone's heard about the Maxwell Street Polish, which is basically mustard and grilled onions and all of that, right? Kind of along that line. So, Chicago is also known for Italian beefs, right? So. Yeah. Are you more about just the Italian sausage, the Italian beef, or do you want the combo? What do you want?
I'll eat a combo. Like, give it to me free. I'll eat the combo. If I get to choose, it depends on. I would prefer it alone, but I'd eat the combo. I've had the combo. I prefer it alone. That was your question, right? I prefer it alone. Beef or the sausage, it depends on what I like in both, man.
Okay. Yeah, so everyone kind of likes it separate. No one seems to like the combo. Everyone seems like the beef. So
now, what do you call? Sorry. What do you call it when you get it really drenched in sauce? In the God, sometimes my memory is just terrible. But the au jus, you guys soak in the bread. What do you call it? And
the technical term for that is it's dipped.
Okay, Okay, that's one technical term. There is another technical term. Does anybody know what that is?
It's called dipped.
It's not drenched either. It's called heavily baptized. Check
That
it out,
is
man.
from bone of beef. Bone of
It
beef
is.
is the only one that uses that term,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's another term.
Yeah. So Storm is
Baptized.
on board with that. So would you prefer the dipped or baptized, or do you prefer just a little bit of au jus or dry?
I don't like it dry for beef.
Okay.
I like it a little bit. Honestly, I like it all. I'll eat it all, but I prefer just it to soak through maybe half of that bread, man. Give me that French bread. Yum.
Okay.
And I would go with I want jardinera, but I also want sweet peppers.
Crowley.
Dry. Dry.
Crowley, are you
What do you put on it then, man? Add your own stuff. What do you put on it?
Crowley, I'm shocked. I'm add his own stuff. Like what? Don't tell me you're putting ketchup on there, Crowley.
Storm, like chewing carpet. Oh, I posted that. Go ahead and
That
get
was
it.
awesome. Crowley, what are you putting on there?
Yeah.
Are you putting ketchup or mustard? What are you doing on that?
He's a criminal. I like it, man.
All right, so
And I
sweet
like the
pepper
sweet
on the
peppers
beef,
too.
lightly
What,
dipped. All right,
what about an Italian sausage then, man?
DR. Let's see. Moved out to Central New York for work. Can't find a good beef sandwich anywhere.
Where is everybody? So he's in New York. Where did you used to live, DR? And
DR, we
Skoke,
appreciate you
Storm,
tuning in from New York.
Skoke, Storm. What are we? Are we in the burbs? Are we actually in the city? Are we in a completely different state?
So Scopes, I
Now,
know, is in the suburbs. I know that because he brings
yeah, I
that up
know.
all the time.
And James Gray, if he's ever on, I think he's in Libertyville or Mundelein. I grew up in Chicago on the northwest side near Jefferson Park, but I'm in Buffalo Grove now. And Carl was in the city, right?
I was born in the city. I grew up in Skokie and Niles, split time
Oh, we did
between the
talk
two.
about that because Storm's going to move as soon as his price of his house goes up when the Bears move. Storm's moving. I don't know where he's moving.
Oh, see, Skokes is near Jefferson Park, right where you grew up. So
Yeah, very close by. Jeff, you're in New Orleans, man. How long have you been there? And you've never? How long have you been a Bears or Chicago sports fan? And how long have you been in New Orleans?
that's interesting.
It's awesome to see when people move that they still are affiliated with the Chicago sports scene. And
Even more
that is
so that we do appreciate you watching us.
yeah, exactly. And that's one reason why Chicago has fans all over the place. I think more so than other cities.
Right.
Because we hate our climate in Chicago. They moved to a warmer climate and yet still stay affiliated to the teams.
Yeah. So here's the other question I was going to ask about the Italian beef. Do you do
Did
cheese?
he say did you see that?
What?
Did you see Crowley's answer to your question?
Oh,
What he puts on it?
Crowley.
Oh, okay. So I put ketchup on a hot dog, and I know that's not the way to go to Chicago, but ketchup on Italian beef. Ugh. Now, if you're gonna have a deli roast beef sandwich, maybe put some ketchup on it. Maybe.
Maybe a steak sandwich.
Since 1987, grew up Beverly Morgan Park area. All right, it's cool. Morgan Park had some amazing basketball teams. Did you play
So-
basketball, DR?
Oh yeah, Morgan Park. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I asked the question about cheese. Do you want cheese on your Italian beef?
Cheese on. If I could get cheese on anything, give it to me.
Are you doing the cheese whiz or are you doing actual shredded cheese?
All right, Matt. Better get your door ready there. Shredded cheese on Italian beef. Oh, you know what? I could, as long as it's cheese, even if it's melted on there, full piece, great. Shredded, awesome.
Real cheese.
Watch your
Yeah.
potty mouth, man.
So
Skokes is more appropriate than Katie.
yeah. Look,
No cheese on your beef. There's a cheesy beef at Portillo's, and it's fantastic.
I'm
Skokes, you've never tried a cheesy beef?
I'm not. But if I'm going to do cheese, I'm going to do mozzarella on a beef. Shredded mozzarella. I'll do that on a beef. But I'm not about the cheese was, and I'll agree with that on Skokes. Like the what is it?
Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, Philly cheesesteak. If you do the cheese whiz on a Philly cheesesteak, for sure.
Yeah, but Philly cheesesteak is just it's different, man. To blow your mind, I'm a White Sox fan and Packers fan because my dad grew up a Chicago Cardinals fan. So, wow.
Oh, look, I totally get that. That's the reason why I'm a White Sox fan, because of my dad. Right, my dad brought me to White Sox games growing up because that's where his company gave him tickets to. So that's the only reason why I'm a White Sox fan.
Yeah, and is everybody here a fan because of their parent? Because I wasn't. When I was playing baseball younger, the Cubs were hot in '84, and that's who I liked. I missed the '83 Sox.
So you weren't a Cub fan before that, or a baseball fan before the?
I was a little bit because I was getting into baseball more and more, but in '84, yeah, it took off. It was kind of crazy.
Okay, Crowley. The next time we go out, the next time we hang out, the Italian beef's on me because I got to
No, I
watch this
thought
in
we're
person.
good. I thought we're gonna try and go to Pequod's. We've got to make it out to Pequod's.
I want to. Well, we'll ask that for the next pizza question, right? But for the food question, but right. Yeah,
Cubs
see?
fan.
That was good.
Fan of the Cubs because forced to watch White Sox baseball as a kid because that is all we could afford. That makes sense. Cubs game. I don't know if Sox games were cheaper back in the '80s than Cubs tickets, but Cubs were pretty cheap too. But Sox used to have a lot more like free entries in the game, I think, than Cubs ever did.
Well, look, that's where my dad got free tickets from his work.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got free tickets to that, and it's not like the Cubs and Sox were selling out when we were growing up.
Yeah,
you could literally walk up to the bleachers and get a ticket that day at Wrigley if you wanted to. On most days,
it's just kind of disappointing that people who can't afford to go to the games, those are people who would probably be like the most excited to be at a stadium and making all the noise. Because sometimes even when we go to the Bulls games, you know, people are just sitting on their hands. You know, like when we all went out with Crowley, me, you, for my bachelor party, we were yelling. There are some people, they would never got up.
Yeah, for sure. Crowley, this makes no sense. You grew up on the South Side, and you're telling me that all these years you grew up with Italian beefs on the South Side, you ate it with fries and ketchup? Come on, man. That can't be right.
I agree, Storm, man. WGN is what made the Cubs so popular all over the country.
Look, that's what made me fall in love with Harry Carey.
Yeah.
Right? I would just watch to listen to him spell name backwards.
What do you think,
Right?
Steve? What do you think, Steve? Just saying? Just Janesh? Janesh Larac?
Yeah.
I think I just said your name backwards.
Larac. It's Larac. I've had many people try to spell my name backwards. It's Larac.
Yeah, well, you got some problems.
What's Vic?
All right, well,
Vic spelled backwards? Civ, right?
Civ.
No.
I am a Civ.
So
yes, Steve and Harry.
I get to listen to Steve Stone still, so I'm good with that. So.
And you know what? I love the gimmicks. I loved Harry Carey going in the bleachers. I loved the atmosphere he created with being a Bud man.
When he did kind of like that Blues Brothers thing with being a Bud man and Bud, that was cool.
That was really cool, man.
That was cool. So listen, we did a
All
little bit
right.
longer tonight because some people joined in late. We do appreciate everyone joining in. Again, no live stream tomorrow. Thursday, we're going to be doing another someone else's show. We got
And then
invited
maybe
on
we
from
can
Detroit.
maybe we could jump on a live after that.
Yeah,
We're
so
doing it early. We're doing that show at 6.
So pay attention to our Twitter, and Facebook. We'll post the links there so you can kind of catch us on there on those shows on that show on Thursday night. So we do appreciate everyone's been tuning in, hanging out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, share the videos. We do appreciate it. Thanks for everyone for tuning in tonight. We do appreciate all you guys. Peace,
Love
and digits.